Speaking Task 1. You will be asked a question about a familiar topic. You will then have 15 seconds to prepare your response, and 45 seconds to speak.
Would you prefer working in a team or individually on major projects? Explain your choice with relevant examples.
Prepare your response after the beep. Start speaking after the beep.
I would prefer working in a team on major projects. Teamwork encourages collaboration and the exchange of ideas, which I believe leads to a more comprehensive end result. There's a synergy that happens when people work together that you just don't get when working alone. Different people bring unique skills and perspectives, and when those are combined, the result is often innovative and effective. Furthermore, in my previous experiences, I valued the learning aspect of teamwork. When I worked on a team project in college, for instance, we each brought distinct skills to the table and we learned immensely from each other.
Speaking Task 2. You will read a short paragraph and then listen to a conversation between two people. You will have 50 seconds to read the paragraph. After, you will get a question about what you read and heard. You will have 30 seconds to prepare your response and then 60 seconds to give it. You have 50 seconds to read. Start reading after the beep. Now listen to the conversation between two people.
Jim, you're in the choir, right? What do you think about what they're doing next year? This article.
I really like it.
Yeah?
Yeah. The new director's right that it will motivate us.
How's that?
Well, some of the other schools are really good, so we'll really have to work hard to go up against them.
Yeah.
I mean, right now we don't rehearse more than once a week, but if we know we'd be competing with other schools, we probably rehearse more often and improve our singing a lot.
That's true. The more you practice, the better you get. So, what about what the article said about how this will help the program?
I hope it works. Right now, our program is pretty small, but we have some really talented people, and it would be great to attract even more people.
So, how will this plan help?
Well, if we go to these off-campus events and other people hear us and think we're really good, we might be able to get some new students interested in coming to this university, to be a part of our music program and perform in our choir concerts.
You're right. I hadn't really thought about that.
The man expresses his opinion about the change described in the article. Briefly summarize the change. Then state his opinion about the change and explain the reasons he gives for holding that opinion.
Prepare your response after the beep. Start speaking after the beep.
The change described in the article is that the university choir will start participating in singing competitions at other locations next year. The man expresses his opinion about this change and he likes it. He believes that competing with other schools will motivate the students in the choir to work harder and improve their singing. He mentions that currently they only rehearse once a week, but if they know they will be competing, they will probably rehearse more often and become better. Additionally, he agrees with the article's suggestion that participating in off-campus events will help attract more talented students to their music program. He hopes that if people hear them and think they are good, it will encourage more students to join and perform in their choir concerts.
Speaking Task 3. You will read a short paragraph about an academic topic, then listen to a lecture about it. You will have 50 seconds to read the paragraph. After, you will get a question about what you read and heard. You will have 30 seconds to prepare your response and then 60 seconds to give it. You have 50 seconds to read. Start reading after the beep. Now listen to the lecture.
A good example of post-impressionism is Vincent van Gogh's work. Van Gogh felt that the Impressionists did not go far enough in their depictions of light and color, and he sought to imbue his work with more feeling, more emotion. Instead of painting exactly what he saw, he would exaggerate the colors, objects, and details in order to more effectively convey the mood or feeling he wanted to express. His most famous painting, Starry Night, showcases this perfectly. Through his over-exaggerated, swirling brush strokes and his disposition towards vibrant and not necessarily realistic colors, one cannot mistake his emotions and thoughts behind the painting. Thus, Van Gogh's work certainly reflects the post-impressionist tendency of exploring the potential of colors and forms to express one's inner world, emphasizing symbolic, personal meanings, rather than the literal depiction of the visual world.
How does Van Gogh's work, particularly Starry Night, exemplify the post-impressionism movement?
Prepare your response after the beep. Start speaking after the beep.
Van Gogh's painting Starry Night is a perfect example of post-impressionism because he used exaggerated colors and swirling brush strokes to express his emotions and inner thoughts. Unlike impressionists who painted exactly what they saw, Van Gogh focused on conveying his feelings through vibrant and unrealistic colors. He wanted to show more emotion and feeling in his work, rather than just a literal depiction of the visual world. By using exaggerated details and colors, Starry Night captures Van Gogh's emotions and personal meanings behind the painting, which is a key characteristic of the post-impressionism movement. Overall, Van Gogh's work reflects the post-impressionist tendency to explore the potential of colors and forms to express the artist's inner world.
You will listen to a lecture about an academic topic. After, you will get a question about what you heard. You will have 20 seconds to prepare your response and then 60 seconds to give it. Now listen to the lecture.
The Dada movement was an artistic and literary movement that occurred during and after World War I. The war's absurdity and brutality led these artists to question the social, political, and cultural values that could produce such an event. The Dada movement is often considered the first anti-art movement. Instead of aesthetics and traditional artistic techniques, the Dadas prioritized chaos, irrationality, and provocativeness. They wanted to shock society and make people think critically about the world around them. Dada artists used a variety of mediums, including sculpture, painting, photography, and performance art. They used unconventional techniques and materials, often recycling everyday objects to create new works of art. The Dadas were central figures in the development of modern art, influencing movements such as Surrealism, which continued the exploration of the irrational and symbolic that the Dada movement had initiated.
What is the Dada movement and how did it influence future art movements? Include points from the lecture.
Prepare your response after the beep. Start speaking after the beep.
The Dada movement was a response to the absurdity and brutality of World War I. Instead of traditional art techniques, Dada artists prioritized chaos and irrationality. They wanted to shock society and make people think critically about the world. Dada artists used various mediums like sculpture, painting, and photography, and they often used unconventional materials to create artwork. The Dada movement influenced future art movements like Surrealism, which continued to explore the irrational and symbolic ideas that Dada had started. In conclusion, the Dada movement was an important anti-art movement that challenged societal norms and paved the way for modern art styles.